Hey guys, it's Silver Snorlax, and I am back today to talk a little bit about a concept that I have kind of thrown together, literally thrown together, in terms of Pokemon card storage. And of course, this goes for any kind of TCG or sports cards, whatever have you. But something I kind of threw together and wanted to get some community feedback on. So we'll talk a little bit about trading card storage. Now, obviously, as collectors, we have tons and tons of cards. We have tons of storage options available to us out on the market currently, and one of the most common and one of the most cheapest as well are your standard cardboard boxes. A lot of times BCW, I think, seems to provide a lot of them online. They're your standard storage boxes. Any card shop you walk into typically has these. A lot of times those same card shops use them for their own storage. They have tons of cards on hand. Tons of storage boxes, and they're very cheap. They're, they come in flat, and you have to kind of build them yourself a little bit, and they're, $2 a box. They're very cheap. The ones I'm showing today are $2 a box. They're kind of your standard shoebox size card boxes. But anyway, so while these are nice cheap options for us, they are not a durable option, not even remotely. There are other cases out there on the market that are hard cases, more durable, but they're more expensive. So something I just did recently, and I forget if I mentioned this in my last video or not, but I've just moved. Took my whole collection, took it with me. I'm still not fully set up in my house. I've been in for a couple weeks now, and still trying to get everything put together. I'm not quite there yet, but during the course of moving in and doing little home repairs and stuff, I had some other additional building supplies on hand, and I took a look at some of my cardboard boxes that made the move with me, and they all kind of look similar. They all look like this, and I want to give you an example. This is a box I have at the very top. You probably can't see it on the screen as I couldn't fit everything into the frame, but alrighty. So I like to write on mine, label mine, but as you can see with this particular box, it's very scuffed. There's all kinds of stains from God knows what during the move. It probably got a little wet, and I believe it was wet even before I moved, and you can see where I've written on it in Sharpie marker. It's kind of started to go everywhere. It doesn't look good. B flat doesn't look good. For the most part, it seems to have held up. Cosmetically, it doesn't look good at all, but this is kind of what every box I owned looked like, and I said it's about time I probably rebuy the boxes or rebuy something to store my cards in, and maybe take a look at that and kind of resort everything, make sure everything's, intact after the move, that sort of deal. But as I started to research hard cases online, I realized, man, it's not a cheap option to do, especially for cards that maybe don't have a tremendous amount of worth. Especially for me, I have a Yu-Gi-Oh card collection. It's old. It's probably not worth very much. I haven't priced it, but it's something that I believe needs more than a box that's just kind of destroyed and stained. So while I like the idea of getting a hard case and probably will one day end up getting hard cases, it's no time soon for me. So I took a look at the boxes I had, and I said, well, maybe there's something I can do to reinforce them. And the ideas like duct tape and other things came to mind, but it didn't quite fit the way I had hoped it would. But something I did have on hand from moving and kind of doing general home repairs was a lot of sealants and things of that nature, including some additional caulk I had from doing a bathroom that needed some caulking. I still had some left over. And this product called flexseal, for those of you who don't know what flexseal is, it's a rubberized coating that's in an aerosol can. They're not very expensive. It's like 13 bucks a can. But anyway, I had some left over from home projects, and I said, maybe I can caulk up and flex seal a cardboard box, as crazy as that sounds, which is exactly what I proceeded to do. So I take these out of frame. That's just my standard cardboard box. Here's kind of what I came up with. This is my version 1, the gray box, and you can hear it's a little sticky because Flex Seal likes to adhere to itself. So all I did with this particular box, I'm going to try to move it back a little bit so you guys can see it. All I did was just Flex Seal the outside of it in the hope to kind of clean up the appearance of it. and to give it some kind of resistance to stains, moisture, maybe a little extra buffer to keeping dust out of the boxes, because that's another thing about these cardboard boxes, they do not keep dust out. They're not designed to do that. They don't have any kind of rubber seal or anything on them. But the hope and the thought was a little bit of Flex Seal, a couple coats of Flex Seal on these boxes would kind of jazz them up a little bit. And quite frankly, I'm very happy with the way this first one came out, at least. This is just a standard grade Flex Seal box. I did the outside as well as the inside of the box. And that seems to have helped the appearance of it at the very least. I actually Flex Sealed the bottom of the box, and I actually Flex Sealed the interior. Now this is just holding empty top loaders currently, but you can kind of see I've Flex Sealed the entirety of the inside of the box. I'm hoping you can catch that a little bit on camera. I don't have all my studio lighting out yet because, of course, I have moved. But long story short, this is now a Flex Sealed box, and the hope is, again, it just kind of keeps me away from stains and away from moisture, things of that nature. That's the idea with it. So that was version 1, and I was happy with version 1. But the more I looked at version 1, I realized a couple of kind of key, I guess, weaknesses would be the best way to put it. So first things first, I'll take that lid off again so you can see it. You can see now the way these boxes all fold, they all fold into each other. You can see right here on the end, this is where the end of the box actually kind of loops back around and then inside and comes up here, so it kind of locks and makes that lid. Same deal here, but you'll notice it's just a giant hole. I actually didn't fill it with anything. If I had done multiple coats of Flex Seal, that probably would have fixed it, no problem. However, I only had enough to do the one box with the one can. So I looked at it, I said, well, it's nice, it's not totally waterproof, and I don't expect it to be at this level. But I said maybe I can do a little something extra to enhance that, make it a little bit better, which is where version 2 came in. So I'll move these out of the way. Move my cardboard box off to the side. Move my gray box off to the side. So this is version 2. There we go. Which I did in black, and actually did the inside lid completely in gray. And something I would like to point out about Flex Seal, it loves to adhere to itself. So if you're stacking heavy Flex Sealed boxes on top of each other, they will stick. Matter of fact, this one is still slightly sticky, which is kind of a pro in itself. That helps keep things out. But here's what I did with version 2. So that hole we had on top, took some extra bathroom caulking that I had on hand, and caulk is not expensive. It's like $5 for a whole tube of it. I just filled it right in and then Flex Sealed over top of it. This isn't a perfect job by any means, because this box has actually gotten beat up a little bit. I've had to move it a couple times. You can see there's little bits of damage on it, but another coat of Flex Seal would clean that right up, which is important to note. I did the interior gray, actually, because I had a little bit left over in the gray Flex Seal can. You will notice here in the corners that the black Flex Seal kind of adhered to the lid of the box and got stuck on there, and I kind of I wouldn't say ripped it out, but I ripped it a little bit, so it's slightly damaged. You can see here. Flex Seal for the most part has held together. It needs another coating, obviously. At least this stuff does. But I did take that caulking agent, like I had mentioned, and I even caulked where it's kind of open on the sides, where it folds in on itself, or it's supposed to fold in on itself. This has all been held over with that caulking agent, and then Flex Sealed on top of it, and it seems to be holding out. It's a more solid, sturdy box. And while it may seem crazy to some of you guys, and that's part of why I'm posting this, is I would really like some community feedback. It's a simple DIY project, and let me tell you, I'm the first person out there who hates doing DIY stuff, mostly because I have a tendency to screw it up. It's difficult for me to learn new things, basically, I guess would be one way to put it, at least when it comes to kind of building things. That's a good way to put it. You know, don't give me the job to build a birdhouse. Give me the job to feed the birds. I can do that, you know. But anyway, this is a fairly cheap project. $15 total, $2 for the box, $13 for a can of Flex Seal. If you're like me and you have some caulking agent left over, you know, you're looking at pennies to kind of put the rest of it together, because all that stuff's fairly cheap. So basically what the idea here is, with version 2 of the flexseal box is to keep it not waterproof, but water resistant, heavily water resistant, and keep it dust proof and stain proof as well. We've already seen that Flex Seal of different colors will kind of adhere to it, so we have to be careful about that. But aside from that, the box itself seems to be holding up very well. And previously, this was a box that was definitely going in the trash, and I was going to buy a new one because of just the age. And, you know, with these cardboard boxes, because they're so cheap, they need to be replaced every so often. That's just kind of how it is. At least that's how I run my collection. However you guys collect is up to you. This is how I run mine, and I'm very much a pristine condition guy. So it's important to me to have a box, even if it's a cheap box, be as optimized as humanly possible. So, with that said, something I'm going to do with version 2 here is I'm actually going to give it a little field test. I'm going to put it outside for a whole week. I'm expecting rain, warm weather, 80 plus degrees, and this is a black box, so it will definitely get a beating from the sun. I'm going to try a couple different things with it, just leaving it out and letting it kind of hold up as best it can, and then I'm going to judge the contents inside. Currently it has top loaders inside, but I'm going to try throwing some Pokemon cards in both raw and sleeved. May even do some cards in top loaders, and I want to see if they hold up to water, sunlight, heat, things of that nature. To my knowledge, Flex Seal does not have anything in it that would chemically alter the cardboard from the cards, so I don't believe it's going to yellow them or anything like that. I'm not too worried about that. But we will see. Subjecting it to conditions like that will give me an idea as far as to, you know, is good idea, bad idea. And obviously leaving a box outside for a week is the most extreme test you could do on just a standard cardboard box. Obviously most folks don't do that, so this will be quite the interesting test, and we'll give it a run for its money, see how well it does. We'll see how well it holds up. So that's going to be it for me for today, guys. I will be uploading in a week the results of that particular, or this particular box, to see how well it held up. In the meantime, though, I would love some community feedback. Do you think I'm absolutely out of my mind? Would be the first question I would ask. Is this a waste of time, a waste of Flex Seal, a waste of caulking agent? I'm really not sure. How are you guys collecting and storing your cards that are maybe not as valuable, the standard cardboard boxes, or do you go straight to hard cases, things of that nature? I would love to hear your feedback, love to hear what you guys are doing. This is nothing more than a concept and an idea. Literally came up with it a week ago since I had some extra sealing agents around. So very, very curious to see what you guys think, and who knows, maybe we can start a really good discussion there in the comments. So, alright guys, I'm going to drop it here. Going to throw this box outside on my deck, subject it to the worst of the worst, and see what happens. And I'll have another upload in a week with the results. Thanks for watching.